train, nor how could I?
Hi, y'all. We are finally back from Nice. End of summer. I hate that because I love the warm weather. Anyhow, time to answer some questions. Ruth Hahn asked, any chance of another show in the future? Answer, yes. I hope. We're working on it. Darren Devine asked, what are your thoughts and opinions on marriage equality? Well, I mean, this is something that I've been emailing and tweeting and Facebooking about for a very, very long time. Proud to say, New York State is on board. Now, the rest of the states, they have to jump on the train also. David Mitchell asks, after you made it to the big time, I'm not sure, David, when the big time was. Maybe it's still now. Was there anything you bought that you now regret or say, what was I thinking? Yes. What I bought was Steinway grand piano. Now, you ought to hear me play. I don't. Sally, Mustang Sally 25, asks, what was one of the worst times in your life and the best times in your life, and how did they change you? You know, Sally, the good times, I don't think have much of an impact. It's the bad times in your life that really, if you look at it that way, really teach you a lesson and move you forward in your own personal development. And I've had some bad times. I mean, Carl and I lived in a car, which is, I guess, really well known, fired 19, well, now it's 20 times. Hello. Fired 20 times, having to leave homes that we could no longer afford. All of those things were part of the growth process. The only thing I think that is not part of the growth process and doesn't do anything for you is when you lose a parent or a child or a loved one. I don't find that has matured me in a good way, in any way. Arthur Gallant asks, how do you feel when drag queens would impersonate you? I loved it. One of the best times that I had to do with drag queens was I was in P-Town, and I was with my family. We're having a family vacation. And we heard noise from around the back of what looked to be a plain old restaurant. We went in, and at that, I mean, think of the chances of this happening. We walked around the back, walked inside this dimly lit room with maybe 200 or 300 people, and there was a man wearing red glasses doing me. We became friends. He has passed away since then, and he did appear on the show. And how do I take it when somebody impersonates you? I think it's just one of the highest forms of compliment. Sarcastic Jay asks, whatever happened to Jenny Jones? You know, it's funny about people. They think that if you're a talk show host, that you hang out with all other talk show hosts. Now, that may be true of rap, but I gotta tell you, I've never been to the home of another talk show host. And Jenny Jones, haven't the slightest idea where she is. Okay, another question. Michael said, what episode of your talk show are you proudest of? Ooh, that's a hard one. I would say that after a while they all become a blur. No. Troy Bailey asks, why is the country going backward? And it's not. It's still the greatest place on earth. It's not going backwards. But his next question is, why is a Republican mind closed to everything but their way? Well, I tend to agree with you, Troy. I don't know why it is. I just think it's retro, and not retro in a nice, sexy, appealing way, but retro in a kind of a musty, you know, dirty, closed way. Eric Manilowski. Oh, Eric, I apologize if I just mangled it. I wouldn't like it if people mangled mine. Says, why don't more reporters and talk show hosts go into politics? And the answer is it doesn't pay as much. Tony Braze asks, will we ever get a second autobiography? Tony, I know a lot has happened since the last one, but I have to tell you something. We sat down and figured out how much we earned from writing the first autobiography, and it came to, I think, 25 cents an hour. Now, I'm able to babysit at twice that price. Karen Latta asked, who is the Sally of this generation? And I have no idea why you'd want another one. Only one. Okay, that's going to be the last question, because I have a real life to live, and just saw the corner of my eye, my husband was going through my purse. Don't you hate it when a man does that? Yes! All right, I hope you followed me on Facebook and Twitter, and the name is at SJ Raphael. So, ciao for now.
Ask me, ask me, ask me. Ask me, ask me, ask me. Because if it's not love, then it's the wrong.
Sally's back, bitches.